Hey everybody, I did that other video on WoW and sort of Lovecraft influences, and I thought I'd do another one since people seem to be quite enjoying them. And again, while sort of to explain, yes, like it's not the sort of more subtle side of Lovecraft, the sort of unimaginable horrors that you can't describe. It's kind of the sort of Easter eggy, sort of the mind-bendy sanity stuff that sort of comes with it. More Eternal Darkness-esque than, say, more subtle Lovecraft things. But it's still fun, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you. I'll give you a bit of background of what I'm going to show you the original one that came in WoW, the one back in vanilla around 10 years ago. This was the old god Cthulhu, his name is, and obviously a play on sort of Cthulhu. He's not like Cthulhu, he's no like a sea monster or anything, but I'll show you. To give you background on the zone though, this is Silithus it's called. It used to be quite nice apparently, then all these bugs started erupting after years and years of no activity, and an old ancient temple, which was part of what was called the Black Empire, which is where these Lovecrafty things came from. Well, they made an empire. All these bugs started making a lot of noise around it. People wanted you to investigate, and voila, raid was made. Old 40-man raid this one was. So what I'm going to do is just sort of stick my nose in, and I'll probably edit it down, and I'll speed it up, so I'll just show you the bosses quickly, rather than showing you the god-awful amounts of walking at normal speed. It was meant to be cool as like a sort of thing, where you can get special mounts and ride around, but in reality it was just annoying and obnoxious. Again, I haven't done it on this character before, so do excuse the discovery and stuff. Interestingly, for a bit of server history, this event to open this gate here, because you couldn't used to be able to fly, took the entire server months to achieve, or weeks, depending on the server, and culminated in the big event where one person opened up the gate and loads of monsters came outside slaughtering everybody. It was actually really fun. On my old server, it happened twice, in fact, because the server crashed because there was too many people in the place at once. So, this is where we're going. This is called Anchorage, the Fallen Kingdom, isn't it, I think? Yeah, probably. And this is where we're going. This is the Black Temple. Now, if I just fly up a little bit, you can kind of see where we're going. Like, in modern post-Cataclysm WoW, it's actually modelled in the real world, so we're going to be popping around here, killing the first boss, and then popping into the temple itself. So that's what we're going to do. So, just drop out of the sky, 'cause it's a little bit quicker. Whoop! Alright. Come on, my little demon huntress. We've got horrible monsters to slay. So, we're going to jump inside the portal. Nice old school 640, 800 by something, lotus green or something hideous. Ugh, horrible. But this was a really, really fun raid. You got special mounts you could use with it. I could get them out actually. We can have a look in a minute. Again, you had 40 people to try and organise here, which made this very, very difficult. These kind of pools were difficult to begin with, and you had to really, really coordinate with people with what you were doing. It was a lot of fun though, like having 40 people around to do stuff was a good laugh. You know, I made a lot of friends back in that day. I was young. I was 17, was I? In college? You know, just about to start uni, doing all this crazy stuff in WoW. It was good fun. Anyway, to get to rather than boring you with my life story, this is the first boss, and he's like one of these mind flare dudes. They kind of whisper creepy shit to you, and he's the prophet of Cthulhu, you know, he's kind of, I don't know, guess rallying the troops. In reality, he's just a big bug. We're gonna slay his ass. Yeah, he dead. You can only delay the inevitable, blah blah blah. Ooh, we got a nice pet. Anything interesting? Just stuff to sell. Okay. So you kill this dude, everything's all dandy, I suppose. Let's get the mount out. Mounts. Anchorage crystal. There it is. Let's get the green one out. I saw a green one. There it is. So this is the mounts you could get off these random things. They're bugs. Bugs are cool. Everyone likes bugs. All the old Gus stuff, up to a certain point, seem to be associated with bugs. This one especially. I guess I think they influence the bugs in their mind or something spooky. Anyway, bugs are cool. They make little sort of squelchy noises when you run around. It's all very hive-based, so these guys obviously made a hive underneath the ground. It's all kind of creepy looking, I think. The music is kind of creepy. Oh, excuse me. Still have a stinky cold, so you have to excuse me. It's kind of creepy looking. I really like the aesthetics of this raid. It looked neat. The only downside now is, of course, when you're not actually raiding it in a big group and all of you are very excited, it's just a lot of walking to do. Like I said, I'll probably end up skipping a load, and some of this might end up going all, I don't know, it depends how long it takes me. If I don't think it's, too terrible between bosses, I'll keep it at normal speed. The bug mount is cool, though. Look at that. Good old delicious bug mounts. I might end up pulling a load of these dudes, it's no problem. It's funny, I tell you what, it is very, very funny to run back to doing stuff like this when you used to do it 40-man, you know. It spent hours over multiple days of my college life when I should have been doing college work doing this. And it would take you so long to get through these packs and the coordination. Like, this boss alone took a good, 5 minutes of, a lot of people concentrating. And now I just literally throw a glaive at her and she drops dead. 1 gold, how nice. Oh, I will take that. Pay for my repairs. Let's get on my giant moose for a change. Can't be bothered to find the other thing. Right. into the next bug tunnel. As you can see, there's quite a lot to this. So, in this instance, the old god's influence is kind of here. It's sort of yelling at you. It sometimes whispers you, stuff like your heart will explode, your friends will abandon you, you know, the kind of stuff my mum sends me in text messages. And, you can just ignore him, play with your friends, it's all good, no one's going to judge you. The main thing is, these old gods are kind of like, from what I gather, like Lavos from Chrono Trigger. Kind of Chrono Trigger spoilers here. I don't really mean to spoiler another game, actually, but in the middle of this. But hey, just a heads up in case anyone cares. Spoilers for Chrono Trigger. So Lavos is an evil space creature that gets flung through space. There's probably hundreds of them. And they land in planets, and they bury themselves for ages, and then consume the planet, and then piss off after they have spawn. The old gods are sort of like that, but they're trying to eat the planet for a different reason. It's really complicated and probably very silly, so I'm not going to go too depth into it, but... So that's what they do, and they do that by corrupting everything around them, and they want to corrupt the planet. And they do that by basically cracking people's sanity to pieces, which is kind of cool. Ooh. Ooh. Terrible. No, well, cells. Look at these guys. I'm going to vomit at you. I would vomit at you, but I don't have enough vomit juice. Hold on, let me get vomit juice. Ready? Ready? Oh my god, how many bugs are there? This is gross. I mean, I don't like bugs the best sometimes. See, this kind of instance isn't my favourite, just sheerly on bugs or gross duty, but hey. What else can we use? There we go. Go back on the crazy dog cat thing. Right, where are we going next? So, next on the long list of things to murder in these horribly long tunnels is... Who's next? Actually, I completely forgot. Apparently Onyxia's here. Onyxia isn't here, by the way, it's broken. Oh, Princess Huhuran. Oh. Okay, this isn't Lovecraft related, but just sort of boring, sort of Halloween telling you raiding stories related. But Princess Huhuran was a bizarre boss, because this had a whole, what's the right word? You had to get different resistances back in the game. I guess maybe it was like a leftover from EverQuest when they were making this, but you had to have X amount of a resistance to survive attacks from a certain boss. For fire bosses, you had to have fire resistance. For, like, frost bosses, frost resistance, and so on and so forth. For this boss, it was nature resist, and the melee in this fight would have to have a certain amount of nature resist just to survive. It was something like 280, which meant you had to wear crappy items just to bolster your nature resist so you didn't get exploded. And this boss was what it was needed for. And it was kind of like the artificial like timer for guilds. Like they had to make sure they had people with enough nature resist, which took time and farming, etc. to get through them. Whereas nowadays you see like guilds blasting through content in a couple of days. Some of that is related to the fact that you haven't got to do shit like that anymore, which to be honest is really, really much better. Nobody wants to do that. I mean, some people hunger from the old days of like, wow, oh come on, I'm on this cool ram, check it out. It's a Brewfest ram. It looks amazing. Nice. Anyway, some people hunger for the old days of WoW. They're like, yeah, man, I miss the days where you had to like, you know, spend like ages in learning all the encounters and stuff. And learning the encounters was fine. That was I'm okay with that bit. It was the stupid shit like the nature resistance and the fire resistance. It was rubbish. 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 Okay, so let's talk more about old god influences. So these are like called the Twin Emperors. And I guess they're the Bug Emperors. I guess that you might actually see them talking to the old god if we sneak in. We'll do that. These Anubis guards are pretty. The Anubis stuffs are pretty cool looking, I think. But we'll just ignore them for the time being. I mean, seriously, these guys look amazing. I love the design of them. Really, really cool. Here we go. That's the eye of the old god. The Master's Eye. The massive floating eyeball in the center of the chamber turns its gaze upon you. You stand before a god.
Your courage will fail.
My courage will not fail. I'll probably one-shot you. Actually, probably won't. I'll probably take my well. He says I'm only flesh and bone. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're probably just made out of chitin and, I don't know, flesh as well. Now, these guys are really cool. They were a very, very difficult fight. You had a warlock tank this guy, and that was really weird back in the day. You'd give him loads of gear and just make him nuke this dude. One was immune to spell damage, one was immune to melee. It was quite interesting. This guy is immune to melee, I think. And this guy, yeah, he is. And this guy's, yeah, melee, and this guy's immune to spells. Doesn't matter anymore, of course, because this guy's literally going to go pop when I do this. Bang! Oh, wait, immune to spells. Duh. Okay, he dead. Heart attack. Like solid snake up in this. What we got here, then? 10 gold, 3 gold. Oh, right, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I forgot. All the Anubis guys just chill out here. We'll vomit on them. Cool. What do we get in this horrible pack? Let's see. Oh, look, that dildo thing that's supposedly some sort of idol of a bird. I'm pretty sure it just looks like some balls and a dildo. Lots of crap. Lots of crap. Okay, we don't want any of that. And we are, however, going to nosy over here and have a look at Okay, apparently I'm not going to nosy over here because I got the plague. Both IRL and in-game. Excellent. Anyway, this guy's now dead, obviously. They had a shared health pool, in case you're wondering why this guy just killed over. He didn't actually have a heart attack. Ooh, I found a pet. That pet is worth a lot of money. That's about 6k gold. It's interesting. In fact, I will show you that pet. That pet is cute. I can always take him back out again later. His name is Anubiseth Idol. Where are you, Anubiseth Idol? There we go. Look at this. He's cute. He's cute. Look at that. Look at it. Come here. He growls at you. He's quite cool. Right, anyway. He can waddle after me. Right, so after you'd managed to fight your way through all of these guys, you normally could do this in one night, if that was the case. You could probably put it off. Wow, I was actually going to make this a video about Lovecraft, and it ended up just being about WoW stories. I'm really sorry, that's probably extremely dull. I'm probably like one of those, like, you know, those granddads who just yap on about something that no one gives a shit about. But so, sorry about that. But anyway, we are getting towards the Lovecrafty bit now, which is a long way, I might add. We've got a lot of walking to do, so I'll just fill the void with natter. Anyway, I might as well start my boring story. I didn't finish it even. I started it. So, anyway, you would spend a fairly long time getting to these dudes. So, they're probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours if you're really good and do it quickly. So, you probably call it for the evening here. And then the next morning, or the next evening, you have to go through all of this crap. This dungeon was full of trash. I mean, sure, it looked cool, but it was full of trash, and it took a long time. These, like, sanity-sapping fucks would used to mind control people, which was funny, but annoying. And after about 1 million years, you would get through all of this garbage trash and make it. And you would wipe probably a good couple of times getting through here because somebody would do something dumb. With 40 people, the chance of someone doing something stupid is actually reasonably high. So you have to be kind of careful. Cool. We are pretty much at the lower part of where we were before, I think. I think we're at the lower part. Which is where we're going to run into our big man himself, Cthulhu. And now Cthulhu looks really, really cool. I think Yogg-Saron looks cooler. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for this guy simply because I did him a lot back in the day. Used to spend like a good couple of nights a week trying to kill him and failing normally. And I always thought he looked neat. And some of this actually stems from where my love of Lovecraft has come from because I was always interested in these sort of ungodly, unworldly, tentacly horrors of sanity-minding screwiness. And again, while yes, like I said earlier, the Lovecrafty side of it, this is more of an Easter egg more than anything else, I still thought it was really cool. There we go, the Eye of Cthulhu. He's a grumpy sod. I'm not going to blast him straight away because I do want to show you like what some of the stuff he does. But imagine this, right? You'd have 40 people, right, lined up like this. Everybody was just chilled out, standing here on their mounts, waiting. Now you'd have one dude in maximum nature resist because again, this dungeon literally hates you, and he had to run ahead of everybody else into the eyeball because it sends a zappy beam, and if you're close to other people, the zappy beam would carry on. So you could have your entire raid literally die in a second flat because the zappy beam bounced between everyone and blew everyone up. It was pretty funny. So anyway, so you'd run in and you would start the encounter. And I think, again, he looks super freaky. So I'm going to taunt him to activate him. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, he does this for a bit. He zaps you with the eye beam. I'm going to see if I can show you the full range of stuff because I think it's quite cool. So tentacles come out of the ground, give you lip, because that's what tentacles do. Now this beam he's zapping me with is the one I told you that bounces. So you'd have 40 people in here not trying to stand within 10 yards of each other, because if they did, it bounced and killed everyone. Which is rude. Now, this old god was basically said he is, like, super old, and he's got, like, he's at 1% of his power or something, and he's not truly formed or some crap. I forget. Which, again, sort of bleeds into the whole, like, unimaginable horror thing that, like, Lovecraft goes with. Again, I just think this is just quite a cute little homage to Lovecraft as a sort of Easter eggy sort of thing. Now, this is where he goes apeshit, and he sends a big beam around the sky. And I don't know if it still kills me. I'm going to test, actually. Let's test. How much damage does that do? Oh, it doesn't do anywhere near it. This used to pretty much instant kill you if it went round and it got you. I think I'm too high level. It won't do anything to me now. Yeah. It's doing 1,500 damage. Now, I'm assuming if I didn't have all my stuff, it would do crazy damage. Anyway, let's slap him up. So you do enough damage, he goes, and the eyeball disappears. And then this huge, mouthy, creepy thing with loads of eyes pops out and starts flailing tentacles at you. And you're like, oh dear God, it is made of eyes and mouths, and that is hideous. And so phase 2 starts. And again, this was really difficult to begin with. And you can't hurt this guy. You shouldn't be able to anyway. I can hurt him, but yeah. So what happens is you get sucked into its stomach, which is super gross to begin with. And you're in the stomach of this... Oh, come on, let me get some platforms I can see. You're in the stomach of this freaky thing, and you're being digested, and it stacks up, so it does more damage the longer you're in here. And you can see inside its pulsating mouth and eyes and other gooey bits. And so the idea was you had to do damage to tentacles and then jump out. Boink. Again, this has come more of a what did we do back in the day thing, which is probably way more boring than what I wanted it to be. So, sorry, but anyway. So you do the damage to the tentacles, he grows purple and you duff him up. And he dies. And then he has a unique death animation, which is cool. And he looks super awesome. I think he was a cool fight. We didn't get to hear all the whispers and stuff, which is always a bit of a shame, but, ooh, little trinket. The Dark Edge of Insanity. I think that looked quite cool. Yeah, look, like a gooey axe with a giant eyeball on it. I like the look of that. That looked cool. And some other crap. Anyway, and that is the Temple of AQ40, which was, as it was known, the old god being the end boss. It was fun. It was, again, a nice little sort of Cthulhu thing. You know, again, bizarrely is what almost sort of started my interest in Lovecraft off. Because I kind of looked up stuff about Cthulhu and it sort of led to, oh, this is a play on word for Cthulhu. I was like, oh, what the hell is Cthulhu? Looked into it and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this kind of thing. And I read up on it. And sort of started reading the books. So yeah, there you go. There is a couple of more things I sort of want to show you in relation to Lovecrafty sort of Easter egg stuff. I'll say that for next time. Mainly because this has probably gone on way longer than I thought. This was more of a tour of the raid than it was the Lovecraft stuff. I'm kind of sorry about that. But I hope you found it at least interesting and sort of gave this old WoW player a good little chat of his old raid. I think I miss this time. I do miss playing with the 40 people. I met some really cool dudes back then. Even though I was probably a young shitbag who talked too much. So nothing's really changed except I'm slightly older now and I still talk too much. But I just talk to you guys on the internet instead, which is nice. Anyway, goodbye Cthulhu. It's nice knowing you. I've got a little pet here. Yeah. I'm gonna pat him. I'm gonna flirt with him.
I take on the powers of the demons I've killed. Did I tell you I've slain a whole army of succubi?
Lewd. Thank you for watching. Catch you all later.